I mean, you decided to go a little darker with this one than you have.
Yeah, kind of had to. The story kind of needed to. It was. It was, like I said, the story just deals with some really dark subject matter, and we felt like to do it right, we kind of needed to kind of go as close to the edge of the PG-13 envelope as we could. At the same time, we had time restraints. You know, we couldn't afford to submit it to the MPAA and get an R rating, and then have to run around like chickens with their heads cut off to try to tone it down to get a PG-13. So because we've been there before with the Wonder Woman movie, so we had to kind of be very, very cognizant of what we thought we could and couldn't do. And there's no hard and fast rules at the MPAA. We know sure enough that shooting somebody point blank in the throat and having blood spurt out was probably going to get us in trouble, so we had to be careful in terms of how we stage certain things. But we kind of had to go there. I mean, it's the movie starts with a teenage boy getting beaten to death with a crowbar, so yeah, it's fun.
Good times for the family.
Yeah, exactly.
You have your long storied history of not just doing iconic Batverse, but just making iconic designs of the whole universe. So yes, was needed a darker feel and anything like that, but what was kind of your process of getting the design?
The design, it's really kind of funny in retrospect because Brandon Vietti, the director, and I, when we were looking at the art direction and development, Brandon especially made a really determined effort to not make it look like Batman the Animated Series, specifically especially the background styling. We'd be looking at a background painting and go, oh, it looks too much like Batman the Animated Series. We got to make, what can we do to make it not look like that? And the same thing with the art style. We tried very much to go in a different direction, and we had a really brilliant young artist named John Suzuki who did all the main character designs. And at the end of the day, when you get the whole film put together, it kind of looks like Batman Animated Series. It's like, with a little bit more detail, a slightly different, color palette, but it's like, and that's okay. It's like, it kind of feels, it's weird, because it's kind of like a cross between VTAS and the Christopher Nolan movies. It has a little bit of that more mature, darker, seriouser feel to it. Yeah, literally, when I watch the movie, 5 minutes at a time can go by, and I kind of go, wow, I feel like I'm back in Batman world, It's like, it's just, I'm there again. So, I don't know if that's just, us falling back into old patterns, or if it's the animators just kind of using that as their template, or what, but for the most part, I'm not really troubled by it. I think it feels good.
So what is it that still appeals about Batman? Obviously, you've been associated with the character for over 20 years now.
Yeah.
What is it? What are you still finding that's new?
He looks cool.
That's important.
I don't know. It's funny. That's one of those questions that people have been asking me for 20 years. Like, wow, why is Batman so great? And I just go, I don't know. He just is. It's like he's cool. And I know there's the stock answer is like, well, he's not like Superman. He's just a human being who dresses up like a bat and trains himself really well. And that's all valid. That's really true. But that's not why I like Batman. I think he literally looks cool, and he's got a cool origin story, and he hates criminals, and he declares war on criminals. It's like. He's easy to get, he's primal, and I don't know, I just always loved Batman, and I love all different kinds of Batman. My first Batman was Adam West when I was a kid. Cesar Romero was my Joker.
He's mine too.
But you know what? Mark Hamill is my Joker.
Thank you.
And Heath Ledger is my Joker, and John DiMaggio is my Joker. So,
I didn't dislike the performance, I swear.
You totally dissed it. No, he's okay though. It's all right. Own it. Just own it. Yeah.
Out of all of the Batmans you've done over the 20 years, when you think of Batman in your head right now, which one is closest rendition over the 20 years?
Honestly, none of them. Deep down in the reptile part of my brain, there is a version of Batman that is unlike anything that has ever been done in film or in any of my cartoons, and I don't know that I'll ever be afforded the opportunity to do it, because it's I have this personal philosophy about Batman that I kind of think of him. It's weird, I shouldn't be saying this. I would like to do a version of Batman that is almost barely human, where you don't really focus so much on Bruce Wayne, the tortured guy or whatever, that he's literally the mysterious creature of the night. He doesn't talk to people, even Alfred. Like Alfred, say something to him and he'll just kind of ignore him and just go off because he's so focused on fighting crime. Like I said, that would be kind of hard to do in a movie or a TV series, but I would sure like to give it a try someday. Just as a change in pace, I'd really like to give a shot at doing my Batman. So we'll see.
As a guy who lives, eats, sleeps, and reads Batman, that sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, maybe you can just do it as like it's too short.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see.
I would watch it.
I sure would.
Do you sympathize kind of with Red Hood in this? I mean,
it's interesting. At least I think so. As you watch the movie, he does some really heinous things, and he runs the gamut of being like the cool, hip, new supervillain on the block, and being kind of a whiny baby at times, and I find him really compelling. I actually absolutely do sympathize with him. By the end of the movie, I'm completely on his side, and it's like I feel bad for him at the end of the film. So, yeah.
I asked this earlier, but if Jason Todd hadn't been killed, was he always going to end up on this path, or do you think he could have embraced Bruce's teachings and become not Nightwing, but something more acceptable?
Hard to say. I haven't given it that much thought. Honestly, I really hadn't. So, don't have a good answer for you. Sorry.
Fair enough.
Striking out. Anything else?
Sneak one in. What's been neat is lately having the animated shorts, like the one little, like Jonah Hex one, and also the Spectre before. I thought those are cool. Is that something that you all kind of decided to do, or how did that come about?
What happened to one more question?
Sorry.
He struck out, so we had to ask another.
I really struck out.
I don't remember who came up with the original idea, but somebody mentioned it, and we thought it would be a good way of shining a spotlight on some of these lesser-known characters that I think are all awesome in their own right. Wouldn't necessarily support their own, full-length feature, but especially with characters like the Spectre and Jonah Hex, who are so specifically outside the regular superhero genre. It's really exciting to be able to do something that's really, really off trail like that. So hopefully we'll get to do a lot more of them in the future with a lot of the other, weirder, more offbeat characters. So, knock wood.
Thank you very much.